Hello guys, my name is Rachel Jennings. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about public speaking, more specifically, some of my strengths, my weaknesses, and ways that I think that I can improve in my public speaking. Before I jump into that, I want to tell you just a little bit about myself and why I'm taking this class. Again, my name is Rachel. I'm a nurse. I've been at Boone Hospital for the last 7 years. I'm an inpatient supervisor over there. I have my associate's degree in nursing and have recently gone back to school to obtain my bachelor's degree in nursing. That is why I'm taking this class. One, it is a required class for me, but two, I think also it can help me in my career. I'm planning to become more into management as I move on, and I know that public speaking will become more and more important for me. Being able to do that will be more important as I move up that ladder. So to start more on a positive note, some of my strengths. Like I said, I'm a supervisor on a floor already, so I'm used to having to talk to smaller groups every morning of about 15 people. So I lead a huddle for them every morning to get us going. So I've got a lot of practice, I think, so that kind of helps me with moving into this. Another thing is I like to incorporate humor into my speeches when it's appropriate to try to lighten things up. I like to start them on a positive note, especially in the morning again with huddle with my fellow nurses. I don't always like to talk about the bad things. I like to get us going with that strong note. And then my third thing is that I try to always be aware of time constraints. Again, thinking back to my huddles, I know that I have nurses who have worked a 12-hour shift. They're ready to give a report, they're ready to get home, they're ready to get some sleep. And then I have day shift nurses who are ready to get started. They've got a lot to do, and holding them keeps them from getting their work done and can make their day a little harder for them. So I try to make sure that I'm watching my time, I'm reading my audience, and I know when I need to draw that to an end. Weaknesses for me, some of the things that I have noticed or have come to my attention so far in this class. My inability to pause throughout my speeches. I get really nervous when I first start to do my speeches, especially when I'm in a much larger crowd. So they tend to just kind of all flow together. I don't really stop and take a pause, which hurts my transitions in my speeches. My eye contact, especially in those larger groups, I'll look out, but I tend to just kind of look over the audience. I never really specifically look at anyone in the group. Kind of want to work on that. And then lastly, I can feel myself being really tense, especially before a speech. My jaw tends to lock up on me. I feel like I can't articulate my words very well. So that's something else that I feel like I can work on. Most importantly, though, I have identified some ways that I think I can improve with my public speaking. I know practicing is going to be one of my best things. Doing this in front of friends and family before I get up in front of the public is always going to help. It's going to help me know in my speeches where good places to pause are at so that I'm ready for that. So hopefully I transition better in those speeches. Being aware of the eye contact so that when I go out, one of my goals is to make sure that I meet the eyes of some of the people in my audience. And then lastly, working on some relaxation techniques before doing my speech. I can do things like squeezing my hands and opening them up, kind of helping to get some of that tension out. Visualizing before doing my speech. When you say that, some of you may think back to TV and hearing people in public speaking. They talk about visualizing your audience in your underwear, and that kind of helps you to relax when you're seeing them that way. I kind of feel like that's probably more of a waste of time. I want to be focusing on myself in that speech. So with visualization, I want to see myself going out, being confident, delivering a good speech, doing those pauses that I talked about, making that eye contact, and just having that self-confidence. So I think thinking that through and seeing that before I do it will help. So those are some of the things I've identified as ways to improve. No one's ever perfect at anything the first time they do it. So practice always makes you better, and especially when you have a plan of action and a desire to be better at it. So that's what I'm going to be working on this session. I'd like to again thank you all for being here and allowing me to give you my speech.